In this financial system, your credit score affects a lot of your financial mobility. In this video, I'm going to share with you the key factors to look out for to improve your financial outlook. Whether you're new to credit scores or you want to refresh your knowledge on how you can continue to improve your credit score. My name is Yvonne, and the goal in this channel is personal growth. So if you want to improve the quality of your life, click on the subscribe button below to level up. It's important to have a clear understanding of how credit scores and credit reports work so that you can fix and improve them. So stay to the end, and I'm going to share with you 10 ways on how you can fix and improve your credit score. So first, let's step back and be very clear with the fundamental things that you really should know and be aware of in terms of your credit score. So why does your credit score matter? Well, first of all, lenders may use your credit report information to decide whether you can get a loan and the terms you get for the loan. For example, the interest rate they're going to charge you. Also, insurance companies use the information to decide whether you can get insurance, and they set the rates that you're going to pay. Also, too, it's becoming more popular for tenants to have to provide their credit score for potential landlords. And so it really impacts a range of things. The second piece I want to talk to you about now is understanding the credit score range. Now, a credit score is based on your credit history over the previous 5 to 7 years. And it's really 3 separate credit bureaus: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And these 3 credit bureaus keep track of this data. It's actually reported to them. So the best known variety of credit scores are actually the FICO and the Vantage score. Now, both of these hinge on 5 credit factors. And so it really, whether they're using FICO or Vantage, at the end of the day, their scoring is based on these 5 areas, which we'll talk through. But I'm just bringing this out so that you know when it comes to credit scores, it's not just FICO, because we hear more about that, but also be aware that there's this Vantage in case that comes up. So now a credit score for either of them actually is a 3-digit number that typically ranges from 300 to 850. And now within that range, the scores are placed within 5 categories, whether it's poor, fair, good, very good, and excellent. So let's talk about these 5 tiers. So the first is 800 to 850, which is excellent. And now individuals in this range, they're considered to be low risk borrowers, and they may have an easier time securing a loan that borrowers with a lower scores just won't be able to access. And now the second is the 740 to 799 range. Now these are really very, very good. Individuals in this range have demonstrated a history of positive credit behavior, and they may have a much easier time being approved for additional credit. The third tier is the 670 to 739 range. Now this is good. Lenders generally view these with credit scores of 670 and up as acceptable, and they're also lower risk borrowers. Now, when you get into the 580 to 669, now you're getting into that fair range. And an individual in this category are more often considered subprime borrowers, and lenders may consider them higher risk, and they may have to have some trouble qualifying for new credit. And now the final tier is 300 to 579. Now this is poor. So individuals in this range often have a very difficult time being approved for new credit, and you're going to find yourself really struggling here to be able to play in this financial system. And it's likely you're going to need to take some steps to improve your credit scores before you can secure new credit. There are 5 factors that affect your credit score, and this is important to know because it's going to help manage your behavior appropriately. So the first is payment history. 35% of the credit score is based on if you pay your bills on time, all the time, every month. The second is amount owed. 30% of your credit score is tied to the credit that you're using. It's called the credit utilization rate. The third is the length of history. So 15% of your credit score factors how long you've had your different accounts active, and it shows how established your credit history is. The fourth is credit mix. 10% is the mix of credit. So having both revolving credit, like a credit card or a home equity line of credit, or an installment loan, which is credit like a student loan, personal loan, or auto loan, really demonstrates your ability to manage different kinds of debt. And the fifth is inquiries. 10% is new applications for credit. This includes hard inquiries like applying for a mortgage, auto loan, or applying for a credit card. Now let's talk about credit reports. Your credit report is a more detailed summary of your credit history. Potential lenders and creditors use this credit report as well as a credit score. Now, a credit report is a statement that has information about you, about your credit activity, and such as loan paying history and the status of your credit accounts. So how can you get your credit report? Well, you can request a free copy of your credit report from each of the three major credit reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, once a year at annualcreditreport.com. And by law, they need to give you access to your free credit report. Now, the 10 ways to fix and improve your credit are: the first is check your credit report for errors and dispute it often. Okay, and so you can check your credit report for free each year from each of the credit bureaus. So one tip on this one is set up calendar reminders to check your credit report every 4 months from each of the bureaus. So for instance, you can select January at the beginning of the year, pick maybe TransUnion in the middle of the year, around May after the first 4 months. You can pick one like Equifax. And then at the end of the year, like around September, you can choose Experian. So this allows you to consistently do a health check on your credit report and credit scores throughout the year. And you're able to do so for free because each of them offer one free credit report a year. So that's how you can kind of work that system that way. The second is don't max your credit cards. Keep your credit card utilization ratio from about 10% to 30%. So you want to keep your credit card balance as low as possible within that range. So for example, if your credit limit is $1,000, don't max it up to $1,000. Use up to $300 in that credit card. And they see you as a riskier borrower because you're carrying a higher balance, which lowers your score. So that's why you want to keep an eye on your credit utilization ratio, making sure that it's 30% or less. Now, the third tip is becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit card. And that's a strategy for improving credit quickly. And it works best if the primary user is a long-term card holder, they've got a long record of on-time payments, and they have a high credit limit. And also the authorized credit user doesn't have recent blemishes or issues on their credit report. And this helps you if maybe you can't qualify for a credit card just yet on your own, but by being an authorized user, that can really help really beef up your credit history. So now the fourth tip is pay in full all the time. Definitely carrying over credit card balances means you're paying interest, which you want to avoid. And it also affects your credit score if you're not paying on time. So this is really going to get you to be able to take advantage, the most advantage of your credit card is paying in full every month. Otherwise, it's going to cost you more money on interest. Now, the inverse of that is if you can't make your full payment every month, at the very least, the fifth tip is make your minimum payment each month. Okay? Otherwise, it's going to count, it's going to affect you, and it's not going to be as an on-time payment. So by making the minimum payments every month, you will get the on-time factor that you're looking for. But of course, you're going to get dinged because you definitely have to pay interest, but at least you're not going to get penalized for missing a payment. The sixth tip is setting up auto pay. It's easy to really slip up on payments. Even the best person forgets. So setting up automatic payments is really, really going to help you. And the trick with automatic payments is you can choose whether you want to pay in full at the end of the month or you want to at least pay the minimum. So let's say you want to just pay the minimum just so that you don't get dinged every month. And then on your own, you can go ahead and make additional payments so that you're not consistently carrying a balance and paying interest on that. Now, the seventh tip is get a secured credit card. So if you don't have enough credit and you're not able to get approved for a credit card at the moment. So that's a good option for you, is to get a secured credit card if you do not have enough credit. Now, that's going to require a security deposit for a line of credit, but it's really going to help you build your credit. The eighth point is ask for a credit limit increase on your credit cards every 6 to 12 months because it's going to lower your credit utilization ratio and help improve your score. Now, remember, this is just a tactic to increase your score and not to buy more than you don't need. Again, that rule, that 10 to 30% credit utilization ratio rule still applies. Now, the ninth tip is get multiple lines of credit, and this is really going to increase your total limit and credit mix and strengthen your credit history. So getting multiple lines of credit in this case, if you remember, one of the factors was the credit mix, and the credit mix is more than just the types of credit on the credit cards, which you're going to want to diversify. And that's where, aside from revolving credit, you have installment loans. Remember, it's the either personal loan, student loan, or auto loan, things like that. So you're going to want a good mix so that you don't just get a whole bunch of credit cards. You're going to want to kind of diversify there, and that's going to help with your credit mix. Again, it's a lower percentage. I think that's just 10%, but it's still a factor that may very well help you to improve your score. And then the 10th tip is, hard inquiries show up on your report for 2 years. So be very selective on the new credit you get and how often you get it. Don't get credit cards or open different accounts all at the same time, and don't apply for credit unless you really need it. So that's the next tip, is be very, very protective on your hard inquiries. One tip on this one is to lock your credit and only unlock it when you are going to request for credit. And I like that feature. I personally use it because it makes me think twice before going ahead and going for more credit. It really is that second level, because now I have to unlock it across all 3 credit bureaus, and it's like, okay, well, let me really think about this. Do I really need it? Do I really want it? In terms of opening up that new line of credit. And more often than not, I just pass on that, and that's protected me from getting all these hard inquiries along the way. So just some final thoughts. You really want to build wealth by being really good financial stewards and really managing your money. Don't let money control you. You are on the driver's seat here. So, and this is a spiritual principle. It says that the plans of the diligent surely lead to success. And that's found in Proverbs 21:5. So in conclusion, it's really important to have financial literacy and have wealth building strategies to really be able to live a life of freedom, of time, and more options in life. I've created a money mastery program, and this program is designed for women, career professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs who really want to get a better financial picture, whether it's saving more money, getting out of debt, or investing to build wealth. You're going to have the peace of mind that comes when you have an action plan for financial freedom. Really think about how much it's costing you to feel stuck in your life. Now, for those that are ready to invest in themselves, click on the link below to enroll. Also, just a heads up, I also launched my merch boutique, and you're able now to shop for inspirational and motivational gifts for yourself, family, and friends. The link is in the description box below for you. Now, if you've enjoyed this video and want to improve the quality of your life, click on the subscribe button below and I'll see you on the next one.